I saved your life.
What life?
This is a scene from The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 2. It marks the death of one of the show's central characters, Joel, played by Pedro Pascal. And it's the first bad scene in this video. Now, if you're familiar with the video game, or games in general, you know that this moment mirrors the game almost beat for beat. And you'll also know fans were not happy with it, and we'll get into that later. But first, let's look at how this scene is handled across the two mediums, video game versus television. So, let's do this. On the surface, the scenes are nearly identical. Same beats, same pacing. But something shifts around about here. Oddly enough, the video game version, which is just a cutscene, not an interactive scene, feels more visceral than its TV counterpart.
Joel, get up!
So why does it feel more alive than the TV version?
Joel!
Watch again.
Joel, get up! Joel!
What's the difference between the two? Well, firstly, the atmosphere is completely different, with light shooting through these two windows in the scene, turning what was a dark and creepy scene into something a little more standard. But the thing that really sets these two scenes apart is actually just a subtle difference, and it's these shots. The show opts for a few wide shots of Ellie and a profile shot of Abby, the antagonist.
End it.
By getting this close to her and shooting at a reverse angle, we are attributing levity and ideology to this character. Whereas in the game, everything is framed from this angle only, meaning that all the emotional weight sits with Ellie. We experience the horror through her eyes. Abby, in this moment, is not given perspective or levity.
Please stop!
And nor should she be.
Please,
Because this moment is not about her. It's about Joel,
get up!
and it's about Ellie, and only them. And since the story continues with Ellie, it's her pain, her trauma, that should dominate the scene.
Please don't shoot!
The game nails this.
Please don't!
And the show simply doesn't. Putting us on this side of the line takes away the horror, and maybe intentionally places us in Abby's shoes. By flipping the camera axis, it subtly shifts empathy towards Abby, muting the horror of what's happening. It's not necessarily a bad technique, but in this case, it's a misstep. That said, Bella Ramsey's performance as Ellie in this scene outshines that of her video game counterpart actress, Ashley Johnson.
Please don't! Please don't do it, please! Please don't! Please don't!
She didn't just play the sadness, she becomes the sadness. Her work anchors the scene in raw emotion. Now let's talk about the controversy. Now I mentioned the controversy that the video game caused when it was released, and especially this scene. Joel was seen as almost the main character of the game, and the killing of him was seen as an act of defiance by the video game's creator Neil Druckmann, shifting the focus to a female-led story and sparking massive fan backlash. Which side you fall on likely depends on your politics, but controversy, when wielded well, can fuel great action. In 1982, Argentina and the United Kingdom waged a brutal 10-week war over the Falkland Islands.
The Falklands, or Malvinas, it's an archipelago in the south of the Atlantic Ocean. They're British territory, but Argentina doesn't think so.
Though short, the conflict left deep scars, especially in Argentina, where national pride was bruised by defeat.
Argentina lost it.
Fast forward 4 years. The 1986 World Cup, Argentina versus England, quarterfinal. Enter Diego Maradona. And this diminutive figure was determined to get revenge for that very same war. Diego Maradona stood at just 5 foot 5 inches. But make no mistake, he was 10 feet tall in ego and had the talent to match. Some call him the best footballer ever. Some may argue. Some may not. Either way, this little Argentinian was determined to make history. And in the 51st minute of the 90-minute match, he did just that. With the score at 0-0, he rose up to head the ball, and what happened instead was this. A huge moment of controversy. The moment they call the hand of God. How he got away with it? Who knows? And who cares? Well, the England players cared. A handball seen around the world. And Maradona did not care. It was revenge, pure and personal. He later said, it was all as if we had beaten a country, not just a football team. We knew they had killed a lot of Argentinian boys there. Killed them like little birds. So 4 years on, he got his revenge. However, just 4 minutes on, he had made even more history by scoring what is dubbed by many as the greatest goal ever scored. He picked up the ball at the halfway line and proceeded to dribble past 5 England players before slotting the ball into an empty net. A moment of pure genius. And a moment that instantly put a huge shadow over the earlier incident. But there was something rather interesting, if not sadistic, to seeing this goal go in. Because as human beings, we're drawn to the unthinkable. Moments that defy logic. It's why we slow down at car crashes. We're not supposed to enjoy the wreck, but we just cannot look away. The same instinct explains the world's obsession with O.J. Simpson's infamous police chase, or why Dharma became a viral hit on Netflix. Why are we so captivated by murderers? Why do we keep watching?
I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Which brings us to our scene of this video. The 2019 mega hit, The Joker, had many standout moments, including an Oscar-winning performance from lead actor Joaquin Phoenix as the titular character. One of the most controversial films of the decade, and one of the most brilliant. It's as haunting as it is brilliant. Cinematographer Lawrence Sher shoots the scene wonderfully, going for a raw, handheld feel. This immediately gives us this sense of grit. When these 3 yobs terrorize our compromised protagonist, Arthur Fleck, aka the Joker, we immediately feel sorry for him. A man with a mental condition that causes uncontrollable laughter. They attack. And in that moment, we want him to defend himself. Which he does, like this. Forcing our sense of morality to question itself. Whose side are we on in this moment? And now suddenly, we are in the shoes of the hunted. We want to escape the very thing we rooted for just a few seconds ago. These 2 shots are wonderful. As we become the predator and the prey. And here, as Lawrence Sher shoots the action through the train, we are kept at a distance, unable to intervene, forcing us to process the shift in real time. Until finally, the camera stops shaking. Becomes static, cold, still. We have clarity. If we look back at the scene and look at all the techniques it employs to keep the scene visceral and how simple they are, you'll be shocked. Firstly, we have these yobs harassing a lone woman on the train, immediately framing them as bad. Keeping the scene handheld at this point brings us right into the moment.
Don't ignore him. He's being nice to you.
And by choosing to go with this powerful score by Icelandic composer Hildur Goðadóttir was the right choice. It amps up the emotionality, and whilst maybe having no score here might have been a more powerful choice in terms of creating a raw, visceral experience, the brilliance of the work by Hildur creates a mood that has a similar impact. Her work in this scene and the film was rightly acknowledged with an Oscar, Golden Globe, and a BAFTA win. And lastly, then, as the scene narrows down to just 2 characters, but almost placing the point of view of both characters in our hands, we are conflicted. It is excellent work by director Todd Phillips, helped greatly by the sheer vulnerability of Joaquin Phoenix's performance. This isn't just action, it is horror. A horror rooted in untreated mental illness, social decay, and the rise of antisocial behavior. Behavior which we can now see mimicked online by YouTubers like Vitaly and Johnny Somali, who film themselves being menaces in foreign countries for clout. Now, thankfully, justice might come in the form of courtrooms in the Philippines and Korea, respectively, which will hopefully send a message to the youth of today about antisocial behavior. The Joker was deeply controversial upon release, accused of glorifying violence, incel culture, and social nihilism. Some feared it would inspire copycats, but that controversy only drove more people to watch it. This scene is why. It's bold, it's brilliant, it's filmmaking at its peak, driven by creatives in complete control of their craft. Now, controversy alone doesn't create impact, it's how it's crafted that makes it unforgettable. In film and TV, it takes sharp direction, precision cinematography, and a score that cuts through the noise. In sport, it's the timing, the stakes, and the raw human drama caught in slow motion. In news, games, or even online content, it's about how the chaos is framed, edited, and presented. Across every medium, when controversy is captured with intention, when the storytelling is tight and the visuals are undeniable, it stops the noise and becomes pure spectacle. It's the alchemy. Take something divisive, shoot it perfectly, and you've got a moment the world can't look away from. Playing right now is a little snippet from the anime One Punch Man. I know you guys love anime, and you're forever asking me to do an anime episode. In the comments, let me know the top scenes from anime movies or TV shows, and it would help if you left links as well, and I shall check them out. And if this video gets enough likes, I'll make an anime-inspired episode. Which of the action scenes from this video did you think were the worst and the best? And what action scene should I cover next? This has been bad action scenes versus good action scenes.